Good evening, and welcome to this morning's broadcast of Telemundo. This is your anchor, Malala Lalala. Despite lots of dancing from delegates from opposing cabinets, tensions still remain across the global powers. Today's stories begin with the ongoing tensions between the United States and the USSR over the naval blockade on Cuba. Despite two attempts to de-escalate the situation through inter-cabinet meetings, both countries weren't able to reach an agreement. The ongoing stalemate between the US and the USSR is starting to feel like a game of who blinks first, as the main point of controversy revolved around who would be first to remove their missiles, and neither country was willing to concede until an official date was established for both parties. Fortunately, whenever this military de-escalation takes place, it seems that it will involve UN officials who will supervise the operations. Meanwhile, India and China have decided to put down their weapons and embrace each other in a ceasefire. It's nice to see these countries finally coming together, but we can't help but wonder if it's just a temporary ceasefire until the next round of tension. Despite both countries have managed to restabilize their economies and bring certainty to the people, the international community suspects that the Chinese were behind the recent disappearance of the Dalai Lama in the Punjab region. The Indian cabinet seems to have lost the most, as seen by this speech given by their leader.
The loss of our citizens is something that represents a heartbreaking situation to the whole Indian family. The loss of our sisters, brothers, mothers, fathers, and children mean nothing to us but a promise of strength, a promise of resilience, a promise of a guaranteed peaceful future, a future where we and our families can live without fear of the power and ambitions of external forces. I, your Prime Minister, grieve with you, feel with you, and will invest my blood, sweat, and tears to find a peaceful future for our beloved India.
India and China are seeking to establish alliances with the US and the USSR, and they have approached the cabinets to make their case. Despite a history of clear alliances between all countries, it seems like the tides are now turning and new friendships are forming between the countries. We hope that a peaceful resolution will be achieved for this situation. However, suspicions about a second aerial attack from China to India might make it harder. We believe China and India will meet directly to resolve this issue. In the Organization of American States, delegates are trying to identify their role within these countries. They have suggested creating more institutions and organizations. However, both press delegates and experts have criticized this and suggested they focus on making existing agencies more efficient, focusing on regional integration and cooperation. There also seems to be excitement from some countries to increase their alliances with the Soviet bloc. Lastly, the Security Council has agreed to call for a ceasefire and terminate the aggressions in the Himalayas border. A delegate from the permanent 5 members has shared with our reporters that the peaceful resolution of the controversies is the only pathway to overcome conflict. For this reason, the Council is exploring the possibility of accepting the People's Republic of China as the legitimate representatives of the Chinese people in the UN, although Taiwan's position on this is still uncertain. This is all for today. This is Malala Lalala. Thanks for tuning in.